she doesn't get me on the call. Then she sends me a WhatsApp. And then I see a picture of my house and a big fire. I'm like, what is going on here? That time, you know, my brother also resigned at work. So we were going to focus at the farm. And that week, my brother was killed. I unfortunately lost the baby because of the stress and the
shock.
pressures, the shock of it all.
Hello, everyone. It is your girl, yes, Ria Sia, your woman of controversial engagements. And today I'm with the gorge, the amazing, the powerhouse. I don't know, it's very full house today. Out of all the days, is vandaag. Today is die dag. And I am not sitting alone. I'm sitting with Zaza Letsholo. We have a history, okay?
Don't start with that, please.
So we have a history. We are sisters that we met in Mrs. South Africa. So that's a cool thing about the journey of Mrs. South Africa. I get to like meet people like Zaza. I mean, hello, lucky me, okay? So I met Zaza at Mrs. South Africa. She is the powerhouse. And how I got to know what she does, okay, probably sitting at home, was through her nails, because everybody's doing nails. Oh, nails, this or whatever. And in her gorgeous might, right? I was like, Zaz, why are you not like having nails? Or it's like, hey, I'm into farming. To introduce yourself, Zaza, with your beautiful farming nails.
Look at me now. Look at me now. Hello,
Oh, my
Ria.
goodness.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah.
So my name is Zaza Letsholo. You know, as she introduced me,
Yeah.
I am a farmer in
Yeah.
business. I do livestock and crop production, which
Yeah.
is like your sugar beans, soya beans. Now I've ventured into vegetables.
Ooh,
I am
excuse
a
us.
mother.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes, to 3 boys.
Yeah.
One in heaven.
Yeah.
And then I am a wife
Yeah.
to my handsome husband,
Oh.
Otto B.
Yes.
And then I am a community builder.
Yeah.
I have a home
Yeah.
where we look after children who are vulnerable,
Yeah.
orphans, and abandoned.
Sure. You see, that's why I didn't read the bio today, because that's how long her bio is, okay? And hence I told you that she is a full house. And today we are covering the episode called Drowning. And before we even dive way deep into that topic for today, I just want us to touch base as to how did you, you black, number one, you know, woman, number two,
Yeah.
go into agriculture.
Well, Ria, I grew up at the farm.
Yeah.
I lived my whole life at the farm
Yeah.
up until I completed my matric. But my father was a farmer.
Oh,
My
wow.
father was my hero. He was my biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
And, you know, when we were at home, before we'd go to school, because we were at the farm, so my father had to drive us to school. So we will milk the cows first before we go. So when my dad is preparing the soil, now that we are going to plant, my dad taught me how to drive a tractor.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Yeah.
clock it, baby.
Clock it, baby. Yeah.
And also, when we are planting, I'm there. You know, when we are harvesting, I'm there. And I was also on the payroll, you know.
Oh, yeah.
again, you know.
That's a good thing about your father, 'cause
Exactly.
he managed to pay
No,
you. Wow, that's
no,
amazing.
he was paying me because I was doing the job, just like the other workers.
Yeah.
Yes, so I fell in love with farming from my background. You know, as I was growing, I was not really sure what I wanted to do. You know, I wanted to be an air hostess, in fact.
Oh, I mean,
you know.
you've got the body,
Look at
you've
me,
got the
baby.
looks.
Look at
I
me,
mean,
So then it didn't work out to me being a flight attendant.
Oh, okay.
But I was close to it because when I was working in a restaurant, we're
Yeah.
not allowed to use phones. So I went for an interview at SAA.
Oh.
Back then, I passed interviews and then I got a call from them, a call back from them. But then, like, I didn't have my phone with me. So life
wow.
goes on. Things they
So there
turn
was a
out-
reason why you missed that call.
Yes.
Sure, the power of missing a missed call. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So then, but I knew that I wanted to do farming. I fell in love with the soil. Like my father taught me a lot of things about it. The basic things of being in the farm, it's not foreign for me. It's something that I love.
Yeah.
The nature, just the atmosphere there, the noise, the birds, the soil,
the nature.
yeah.
Okay, rather you
No,
than me. I'm just saying roots for her.
Yes, I fell in love with it, and
Wow.
I'm enjoying it. I mean, I get into the tractor myself. I look after my plants, myself. So
Yeah.
I'm in it for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think how many were you at that time in terms of your siblings, and how many worked at your father's farm?
Okay, so we were 7.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big family. That's wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's 2 boys
Yeah.
and 5 girls.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I lost both my brothers.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
In 2017, I
Yeah.
lost my elder brother, was
Yeah.
2 years older than me.
Yeah.
And then in 2021, I lost my
Your other brother.
my other brother. Yeah, 2017, it was my elder brother. He died of brain tumor. And then
Sure.
2021, I lost my brother who was killed. He was
Sure, I'm so
shot.
sorry to hear that.
He was killed like a thug, but yeah, it's just one of
Sure.
those. Yes, so I have my other sisters, but they are working, so I am the one who is hands-on at the farm.
Sure. And how's it been for you? Because, we grew up knowing that, yes, our parents would work at the farm and, not owning the land and not owning the farm, How did it happen for you? How did you manage to be a farm owner or find yourself in that space after your father has taught you so much?
So this is like a generational
wow.
legacy.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a generational legacy. As I said, we grew up in the farm. My younger brother was born at the farm. Like, we lived our life at the farm.
There.
So yes, so when my dad died, then I
You had to continue with
I
his
had to
legacy.
continue with it, and my brothers also, they loved it, but unfortunately, things happens the way they happen. Yeah, so it's just one of those.
Yeah, I mean, with the being with in the agricultural space is not the easiest thing to do. I mean, like with our chats, every time we're like, "Yo, I have to do this. I'm from the farm. The sun burned. The this, the that."
Ooh, it comes with all the challenges.
Yeah.
It comes with all the challenges, and more especially a woman. My aunt was saying to me, this past 2 days, I was talking to my aunt. It's like, Mara Zaza, fanele stop umsebenza amadoda lo man. Ubereka umsebenza wamadoda man. But just if I leave, and then what's gonna happen? It's like, we can't even see you.
Yeah.
You are forever at the farm.
Yeah.
It's really yeah, it comes with challenges, but when you love something,
Yeah.
you will do it no matter what.
Yeah.
And with passion, nothing can stop you when
You're
you
very
are
passionate.
are passionate. And it comes with all the struggles, the challenges. Yeah, but life is like that. It comes with challenges. We just need
ups and
to,
downs.
hit them straight up.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm like fascinated in terms of how your sister will say, "Oh, you're kumsebenza amadoda."
Yeah, it's my aunt. Yes.
Your aunt.
My aunt. Athi umsebenzi amadoda yeka. Ngithi what must I do?
Yeah.
And it's something I've always been. Something that is interesting about me is that I've been in a male-dominated industry my whole entire life, and
Yes.
I've always been a salesperson.
Yeah.
Yes, in my life.
Yeah, because I remember when you said that just recently when we were in the Mrs. South Africa journey, and I was like, oh no, have I sponsoring me? It's like, yay, I was once there. Why are you talking about it? Talk us through that moment as you being in an automotive industry.
Wow. Wow. I can't believe myself that I was in that industry.
Sure.
Because, as I said, I grew up in the farm.
Yeah.
And then when I left home, coming to Pretoria for my tertiary, I could not speak English.
Yeah.
I could not articulate myself.
Yeah.
I used to stay with girls coming from multiracial schools. And you want to have a conversation with them, but the English is not there. When you start you're constructing sentence in your mind, they already passed that. Girl, they are far away. So it's interesting for me because I've had to work myself up to get to where I am right now. The spaces that I am right now. Me being at VW, I worked for VW for more than 10 years. I was one of the best sales executive around the country. I sold cars like cakes. I traveled. VW took me places. With your husband, everything paid. You understand? I used to sit in the boardrooms with all the big guns, and I would even pinch myself.
Is it me?
Is it you? Is it you?
And I'm trying to think. Do you think it was still white dominated at that time when you were in?
Yes. It was, but I've worked with a lot of white people, and I don't want to lie to you. I grew a lot,
You now know how to let yourself
now
in
I can
big
speak
rooms.
English, properly, and they want to see growth in you. When I started at VW, my boss used to say, you're earning a lot of money, so this is what you need to do to set yourself for your life, and I truly appreciate
yourself.
I truly appreciate them. VW was, I've been a sales, I worked at the restaurant for more than 5 years. I was working, I was earning by tips only. 2007, I bought my first brand spanking new car from tips. And there was no basic salary. I was saving my money.
It's still the same even now.
Yeah, I was saving my money. And I applied for a car, and I was paying an installment every month. I was making more than 10,000 rand every month from tips. I'm talking about 2005 then, back then.
It had to take a lot of discipline at that time, because the generation at that time was still fast. It was still fast. It was almost boom shaka boom fikizolo.
It was. I enjoyed my life. I love enjoying my life. Then I was independent. I had my own flat. I had my own car. I was like that girl that back then to now.
Of which you're still that girl.
No, I'm moving with the
times.
Right now. I'm on another level. I'm on another level. I must say, me being on sales, it helped me a lot. In being disciplined. Working with tips, knowing that if you don't work for your money, end of the month you're not gonna have anything. I've never had a office work where I know I'm going to be getting a set salary, a set salary for me at the end of the month. That thing always encouraged me to do more, to earn more, to pay my own check. So when I was working at VW, I was earning close to 100,000. You know, I was earning a lot of
You
money.
were really like so focused in ensuring that you earn what you want to earn.
Yes.
And that's why you were pushing through as a person, as a salesperson, selling the cars like hotcakes, like you said, you know. And with that said, I mean, I want to go back to the dominance of male because, excuse me, you were there in the male sector in terms of working in the automotives,
Yes.
and then now in farming. How have you found your way in it with the male
Well,
pressure?
I've always had a plan. I was actually reading an article that was in Sowetan. It was 2013, I think.
Yeah.
It was 2013. I was still in selling cars, but then on that article, I specifically said everything that I am right now. That
Wow.
I'm an emerging farmer. I want to be fully in farming. You know, this is what I want to do. Everything that I wanted to do, I am in it right now. So it doesn't take a day. It needs patience,
Yeah.
you know, and discipline
Yeah.
and making sure that you are working on your goals. You
Yeah.
know, don't disappoint yourself. You know,
Yeah.
if you disappoint yourself, let it be small things, but you have to wake up every day and say,
An
I
account.
have to do this. I have to do this. If I want to live a certain life, I have to put in the work.
Yeah.
Yes. So then when I left my job in 2017.
Yeah.
No, not 2017. In 2021. In
Yeah.
fact. 2017, when I lost my brother.
Yeah.
One of a friend, my neighbor,
Yeah.
called me. We were busy burying my brother. We just came back from the
funeral.
The funeral, you know, we're at home, we were eating and all of those. Everyone is chilled.
Yeah.
And then I get a call from my friend to say, your house is burning.
Your house?
Yes, my house is burning.
Sure.
And then, no, she doesn't get me on the call. Then she sends me a WhatsApp. And then I see a picture of my house and a big fire. I'm like, what is going on here? My husband just left at the funeral and he had an event that he was going to. So he came home. He was driving a combi. Came home, parked the combi, took the bakkie with the sound, whatever that he was going to use where he was going to be working, left the house. And then I get this. When I get this, I'm like, what's going on? I call my husband. What? Apparently at home,
The house is burning.
The house is on fire.
How did the house burn?
I leave my house. So we live closer to the railway station. So I think the sparks came from the railway station. And then it caught a house, like 2 houses away from us. And then when they tried to, you know, then it jumped to 2 houses and it got into my house. And we had a Wendy house, and that Wendy house
obviously will catch the spark.
the Wendy
It's
house
wood.
had equipment, my husband's equipment. I'm talking about more than R1 million that was not insured, got burnt to ashes, everything.
Oh my word.
Yeah. So this is now taking me from you asking me about how did I move now from
This male dominated structure.
yes
sales.
to that. So that was 2017, and then I had to. Now we need money. My husband's stuff is gone.
The house is gone.
It's just the Wendy house. Luckily, it was just the
Luckily,
Wendy
oh my
house,
God.
not the
actual house.
The actual house.
But still, that loss is a
it's
lot. Because that's what you put
it's
your...
a lot, and it's not insured.
Yeah.
You know, and now started talking to my bosses. I needed some money, you know, and they couldn't. I needed, because I've been working for them for quite a lot. a long time. So I just wanted a lump sum so that we can see, because I was going to be in trouble.
And the two party being a gabi con at that time.
Exactly. So now I moved. I moved from VW because they couldn't give me the money. Then I had to move from that VW I was working at to at least get the money, move to...
Yes, so that you can cash in and then try to help your husband. Yeah.
Yes. Then I moved to Hatfield VW. It's same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. And then that's when in November, I started working at VW. That was, I think, it was my second month. I mean, working at
Hatfield now. Now this is at Hatfield. Yeah.
Yes. And then I lost my child.
Yeah.
When I was at VW. When I was
you were yes. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna jump into that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's jump that. And then me leaving, I've already like hit the roof. I was like,
because,
you know what? That was after my brother died. Now in 2021, 2021 after my brother died, I was like, I need to really focus, because I resigned at work 2021. My brother also resigned at work, so we were going to focus at the farm. And that week, my brother was killed.
Sure. That's crazy.
Yeah. So now I had to like leave and focus on the real deal, what I really wanted to be.
So that's how the move... Sure. So it's a series of events that were happening in your life, and I want us to touch on that in terms of, you being such, an inspiration, and you have developed your career so well in the automotive industry, and you're at your peak. I mean, you're at your peak. You're earning quite a lot. You have set your name. You've put your name out there. You are like competitive in that sense, and then now things start crumbling down. So tell us about that moment. I mean, you lose your brother in 2017. How was that moment for you?
Oh, it was a sad moment. It was really a sad moment because my brother died in my hands at the hospital, and it was devastating for the family because he was the elder son at home, and now we're like, oh my God, we don't have an elder brother now, yes, but we had to pick ourselves, because life is not waiting.
Yeah. And another series are coming together. So your brother dies in 2017. Your other brother now dies in 2021.
Yes.
Tell us about that time then. What was happening?
Oh, that time. First thing that comes into my mind is that I was pregnant. I was 3 months pregnant when I lost my brother. When they called, they actually spoke to my husband. They told my husband, and he was at work, and he called me. He's like, where are you? I'm like, I'm in the house, I'm coming now, don't take calls. I'm like, why must I not take calls? What's going on now? Like, I'm thinking, is there an accident or what happened?
Is he hurt? And actually thinking about him.
I'm thinking about him. Maybe he's going to the hospital. I don't know what's going on. Sure. And then he gets home, and then he tells me that my brother was killed. I was talking to my brother earlier on that he's going to Vaterfali. There was some stuff. And then the next thing, my brother died. My brother was shot, was killed. And I unfortunately lost the baby because of the stress and the pressures, the shock of it all. I didn't know what to mourn or grieve for. At that time, it was confusing for me. I couldn't cry. Things didn't make sense.
Yeah, because there's a lot that is happening. You want to grieve your brother, you want to grieve your child, and at the same time, the wound as well of your other brother is still there, cracks open.
Oh,
Do you
it's
know?
not nice. It doesn't. It
You go through that. Yeah, and then you go through that. And so how did you guys, how do you put yourself together in that moment at that time when that is happening?
Well, through prayers, through the grace of God. I grew up in a family my father was a bishop,
Oh wow.
Yes, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Hence you
So
rooted. You
yes,
rooted in Christ and you
yes,
rooted in faith.
I
Yeah.
am. I am.
Yeah.
So it's that. It's
Sure.
that because me losing my father was
Yeah.
the
On
one
its
of the
own.
on its own. It was something else because my father was very close to my heart.
Yeah.
Like losing my dad to now seeing our mom, being vulnerable,
Yes.
because
Going
she
through the
was going
grief.
through the grief, to losing our brothers,
Sure. And now the daughter is losing the grandchild because it's still a loss for her because
Yes.
remember she's excited that you're gonna have a child and
Yep.
then the child passes as well, so tell us about, because there's a series of those things that are happening in your life right now at that time where there's loss. Take us to, because I remember this moment very well when we were at the Mrs. South Africa and it was our prelim rehearsals,
Yes.
and you had a moment about your son. Tell us about that moment.
Oh my word. I can't put it into a, if you have not felt that, you won't understand. That was my worst week. That was my worst week. It's the moments where, you've got great memories about your son that you miss and all of those you love. And, when it comes to the time that your son died, that's where you like feel everything and you go through all the emotions and it just comes back.
Yeah.
So at that time, I had to carry myself. We had interviews.
Yeah.
We had you had to present your
like you whatever your papers or whatever your journey.
Yes, your journey and all of that. And I remember so vividly sitting in that room, and I kept on going out to the loo to get myself together because the tears are here.
Emotions are there.
It's that time when your son died and you are thinking all of those things because my child drowned, and it's not something that, when someone was sick and all of that, it was
there's
a
a
sudden
moment,
thing.
there's a series.
Yes.
Yeah, take us to that moment. Take us to the day. Where were you? What was happening? Create a picture for us of when
my son died. Okay, so I, as I said, I'm a community builder. So I hosted an event. Like every year, I would host a farm party at the farm. So that was on the 12th of November.
Yeah.
Then we had the farm party, it was nice. And then I was still working at VW by that time.
Yeah.
Yes, at Hatfield. So then we drove back on Monday.
Yeah.
On Monday with the kids, drive back to Pretoria. And then it was very early in the morning. Then I took the kids to school, then I went to work.
Yeah.
So my son is left at home with our helper.
Yeah.
So because I was tired, I spoke to my boss that I would really like to knock off early because I need to assist my helper also with the phone. There was some
Issues
so
there.
yes. And then my son calls me at work because I had a phone. at home,
Yeah.
so that he can call me when
Yeah,
he needs
obviously
me.
back in the
You know,
days,
yes.
Telkom bekasebenza. Yeah.
No, I had a smartphone.
Oh,
So
okay.
my son will call me with a video call.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we will chat. So he says to me, Mama, hey, I can't believe Auntie is gone now, and he left the house. I mean, she left the house with this wig. She's wearing this wig, and it's so Maratha, and she's laughing. Oh my God! I'm like Maratha.
Yeah.
Mama, you should see the wig. You should see the wig. Yeah. So I'm excited, going home.
You're laughing, you want to see the
laughing,
wig
I want
and all
to see
of
the
that.
wig and all of that. And then
Yeah.
I knock off. I then went home to pick up my kids.
Yeah.
We go to the shops. We get auntie.
Yeah.
As we were turning, nangu auntie.
Okay.
My son is like, Mama, just look at the wig. And you wig yakho ni shwabene.
It's true, manje.
Uyabona
Skirpot. So washa amapot.
ngathi bayenze ngeayini amaqeda yashwabana so yabo.
Yeah.
So we laughing about that. Siyahamba, we buy vegetables and then we get home. We go home. So my son liked frozen yogurt. We get the frozen yogurt. We are all excited in the car. We are chatting. It's nice. We get home. When I get home, my husband is there. I'm tired. I just sit on the couch. In about 5 minutes, my husband wanted to go sort out some invoices in Mandarin. So then he left. In few minutes, my son now comes to me and he's like, Mom, where is Kamu? I'm like, you guys always follow each other.
So
why
is this your older son?
The elder son,
Okay.
yes. So now I pick up the phone. I call my husband. Did you leave with Kamu? He's like, no, I didn't. This thing happened within 5 minutes. And then as I walked out of the door, the pool is right there. As I walked out of the door, I could see my son inside the pool, underneath, with a bicycle, holding a bicycle like this.
My goodness.
Yeah. And then
So he
I
was
had
riding
to,
a bicycle.
He was riding a bicycle, and then he fell with the bicycle into the water, and because he could swim, so then I think it triggered with him, and then I jumped into the pool. I took him out, gave it to my helper. Immediately there, I had this thing. I was like, God, did you visit my house? I had the thing in my heart. Like, I said it to myself that when I was taking him out. And then now my children, we're going to the hospital. We are rushing to the hospital. I almost had an accident. I call my husband, love. All I just said to my husband is that my son died. Our son died. And my husband was like, love, no ways. You can't say that.
Mean?
What do you mean? He's dead. I'm like, I'm rushing to the hospital now. And then my husband had to go to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, all that I wanted was them to save my child. I was like, can you just save my child?
Can imagine.
Just save my child.
The state of mind at that time.
I am wet because I jumped into the pool. I am freezing. I am shaking. And then, the nurses, the doctors, they now start giving you hope. They always give you hope. Like, no, don't worry. Everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Then my husband got there. When he got there, then they called us and they said, our son is no more. And, it's...
Sure.
I've never felt so much pain in my life.
I can imagine.
I felt all sorts of pains. When we talk about pain, I felt the pain on everything everything. My
body.
body, everything.
Muscle.
There was a hole inside of me where I felt like I was just inside of that hole. And it's not making sense. I ran out of the hospital, when after they told us, we were at Medforum. I ran out of the hospital like I'm going to the main road, I'm running there. I don't know what's going on. My husband is running after me, love, and the kids, and that was a sad day for me. It was a really, really sad day for me.
It was. It
For my
looked
family,
like it.
for my husband, my children, my mother-in-law, my family. It was just something.
Yeah. I feel that it looked like it for us, or for me, on the day of our pageant, because it was almost like you are reliving that moment on the day.
I was leaving the moment. I was
like you
reliving
can almost like see what you're telling me on the day, on stage, because you were on fret. You were like, it was like, this thing is happening now, today, on that particular day.
Yes, building on the week when we had all of these things. I slept alone. Like, I booked myself because, if I was with someone in my room, they were going to see horror because it was not nice. Being in that room, that's when I found a space where I could just scream and be like, Lord, what's going on? What's going on? I felt like vomiting. I was not myself. And when I leave that room, I had to pick myself up and just like, what, life goes on. I must be on the interviews. I must do my presentation. I must show up and do
show up with
my
everything.
interview. I could not. It was spinning. Everything was spinning on that interview. I can't tell you what was going on there because it was bad. I felt like, I'm thinking about my son. I'm thinking about all of these things, and there's people in the boardroom, and I'm spinning, and it was too much. It was too much on the day because my son died on the 13th, and then we buried my son on the 16th, and which was his birthday, and they were crowning Mrs. South Africa on that day, on the 16th, and it's my son's birthday, and it's the day that he died. It's just too much for me.
Everything is happening.
I must smile. I must keep my posture. I must make sure that I show up for myself. But I was going through a lot. I
just felt it in the millisecond that you broke, and we started coming together and pray, because there was a lot that was happening on the day on its own.
Yes.
But I think for me, what caught my eye was, like, I saw you almost like reliving the moment. Like, you were in a fret, but you are here, you are strong, but you could, like,
It's busy.
It's busy.
I have to, there's presentations, you prepare yourself to do all of those things, and you get to a day like this, and it's just, there's so much that is going on in your mind. So when I broke down, we were busy with the rehearsals. Remember, we were busy with the rehearsals, and then now the picture popped on my watch. As hard as it was for me, then those reminders. Then the picture popped. My son was cute. He was too handsome. It was one of those children that when you meet him, you just love the child. You want to talk to the child. You want to touch the child. It was one of those cutest boys. And then I see his cute face on my... And immediately, I didn't think I was where I was. I just broke down. I could not take it anymore because it was too much. I had to keep myself, but then now it was too much that I'm going to burst. So I had to burst in tears, so that I can feel better. When we went to Papa's, I didn't want to leave my room. I didn't want to go. I had to show up, but I just needed a moment, And I thought to myself, when it comes to those days, I think I need to just relax and just take it easy because, wow,
I think as well is trying to, I think it's something that I like to say God is doing it well, He's trying to create a new memory that it must not be said, it must be so good. Then the guilt of that goodness of that day sort of like grabs you and you just drown in the guilt of, I can't be having fun. I can't be excited about this. I can't enjoy this moment because how can I do that? And if I do that, I'm going to forget that I lost my son in that whole week. And you get stuck in that moment of, I can't do this part that God is trying to say. I want to pull you out. I want to create a new memory. I want you to look at this day and say, oh, wow, son, look at me. I'm doing well. But the guilt is the one that is drowning us back in.
For me, it's the date. The date is just something else because I thought I am that strong that I will just pull through and be fine. But I'm a human being at the end of the day, and I must allow myself to feel all those sorts of pain and the feelings, and move on it. I am a grieving mother, but I don't grieve myself to death. Like I rouse with all of those things. I've turned my pain into purpose. I am doing a lot in my hands that makes me so proud. I've got children that I look after. We are building now a new safety home. In fact, let me tell you.
Yeah, because I want us to go through that.
Yes.
Because I feel that pain as well has shifted you in a sense that you are such a powerhouse, you're such a strong woman, you're such a force, and when people look at you, they see that power. But at the same time, people forget that we are human in that power. Yes. There are moments that you be like, I don't expect Zaza to crumble. I don't expect Zaza to cry because I'm looking at her and I'm drawing my power. And when those moments happen, and we also don't want to go to those moments, we want to keep ourselves strong.
Together.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell me about the Zaza Foundation and the home.
Okay. So the foundation, I started the foundation. I grew up, my father was a community builder. Let me start there. My dad was a community builder. So I take a lot from
you inherited much greatness.
In fact, from both my mom and dad, because right now my dad died 2009, and I draw so much now from my mom. And my mother never went to school,
Wow.
But imali. Business even the farming, you can't just like she's like my business partner. Do you understand what I'm saying? My mom is like that force that is standing behind me to say, do it, my child, go for it. When I'm feeling down, you would say, you know what, those days they come, but go for it. So then 2017 at school I used to do sanitary pads, like because my dad
initiatives.
Yes, my dad, I got the privileges to get money from my my father, I never struggled in my life. Like, we lived a good life at
Yeah.
home,
Yeah. In
and
abundance.
yes.
Yeah.
So now I would buy the sanitary pads and share with my friends, the ones that can't afford,
Yeah.
and then I would share with them, So that thing built up to, I've been doing those things from way back.
There's also like second nature to you.
Yes.
As when people look at you now, they're like, wow, we want and for you it's like, this is my second nature.
No, this is like they say, there's a saying that says, do what you love and never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
And that's what I am living.
Wow.
I am living that, and I am enjoying every moment. If
Yeah.
you are passionate with something, you must go for it, because it comes with the love inside. When you do it with all the love. You don't see that you are actually working hard,
Yes, you're not.
because it comes natural.
Yeah.
Yes. So
yeah.
the foundation.
Foundation.
Foundation, 2017, after I lost my child, then I wanted to have a safety home. I always wanted to have a safety home. Then I was approached and then to adopt a safety home in Kwamhlanga. And then I adopted the safety home. I was looking after the children. I still look after the children. Some are grown now, some are tertiary, some they are working now. I've got a child, and I've got in the community also, I have children that I look after. I have a lawyer under me, that served. I was looking after that boy. He was staying with me, and I was basically the parent to the child, and my husband allowed the child to come and stay with us, because also I feel like my husband is also like that, because there's a lot of children that we live with that we didn't give birth to, but they're our children. Some they move, they work, and they move forward, but we've always had that type of thing.
Yeah.
So the home, it's something that is very close to my heart. When I change one's life, for me, I'm changing the world.
Yes.
To see these children being so happy, I celebrate their birthdays. We get good memories. They've got memories that they always remember. When it's their birthday, they send me pictures, says Zaza, my birthday with the cake and all of that. They've got good memories. When I look after the child, I want them to feel the care
and
in
the
me,
warmth, the love.
And the children that comes from the safety home, they come from vulnerable backgrounds, and it's not easy to trust. They have to see the love and care and that warmth for them to open up for you. So I've got a relationship with different children, like in a different way. This one comes from a family like this. I know how to deal with this child. I know how to deal with this one. So fast forward, when I went to Mrs. South Africa, my purpose, my goal was to use the platform to build the second home.
Oh, wow. Yes, I remember you said.
Yes.
Wow. And you went before, because I'm going to dive into bit. Before that, you went to Standard Bank?
Yes.
Tell us a bit more about this so that we can go back, so they can come together with the home as well.
Basadi Development Program.
Yes, Basadi Development Program. Yes.
I love them so much. Oh my God. Women are empowering each other now. Like, in the midst of all the challenges that we have, we still have powerful women that
come
are
together.
uplifting women, empowering women, sharing the information. So with Standard Bank, Basadi Development Program, it was a year program. So, they build you from your business. If you are still lacking with, being compliant in your business, running a proper structure of a business every month, like a commercial business. What you need to do, to be a successful entrepreneur or running a proper business, And for me, we had like different programs where they will teach you how to market your business, how to get the market, all of those. And then it was 200 women, and it was online classes every Thursday. I attended classes. At the end of the year, then you pitch your business, and then from the 200, they select 10 finalists. Then you're going to pitch at the Standard Bank,
So assist with the executives.
in Sandton.
Yeah.
Yes. So then, fortunately, I was part of the top 10.
Yeah.
A girl that comes from a village. Let
Yeah.
me tell you, sister.
Yeah.
Your background doesn't define you.
Look at this one.
Listen. The courage to rise above that. It is. Let me tell you. To rise above it. I did it. You can do it. I mean, from the village, I couldn't speak English. I was humiliated by the teacher in class calling me a failure in my grade 11. That affected my confidence. But look at where I am. I didn't get stuck there. I didn't stay there. I rose still.
Sure. And like you rose from a lot. I mean, you are talking about the second home before we wrap it up, but we are talking about the second home that you are building as well.
Yes.
That led for you to be one of the top 10 finalists at the Basadi Standard Bank Basadi in business.
Basadi in business it was my farming business.
Wow.
My ABM farming dreams business.
Yes.
Yeah, it was totally about business.
Sure.
Yes.
And then you won, and now the second home.
And then
Let's talk about that.
I won 60,000 rand, and then I got myself a greenhouse that I planted my vegetables. So basically, they gave me a startup as a SMME businesswoman.
Yeah.
So. Now the second home, I've got a land, a 1 hectare of a land that was donated to me by the king of Manala Mbongo.
Yes.
So yes, and we have an office now. The foundation has the office. They just handed the office this past week, and I'm so excited. I'm like,
That's
oh my God,
amazing.
we are growing.
Yeah.
We are growing. So Mrs. South Africa,
Yeah.
what I want from Mrs. South Africa is that I got to connect myself with one of the ladies that is actually Mrs. South Africa right now, Karika Beb.
Yes.
I've partnered with a Beb Foundation.
Wow.
So they are actually, we are busy now in talks because they are the ones who are actually sourcing the funds for me to build a safety home. And look at how God works,
So amazing.
So the home is going to be standing. We've done everything. We've moved from stages to stages. Now we are at the final stage where things are going to be happening. Then we are going to start building of the safety home.
Wow.
For me, I would have loved by the end of this year to have a fully furnished, beautiful cheese home for the children.
Yes,
So they can
yes.
enjoy their lives.
Yes.
Then they can be moving into the home.
Wow.
But we are busy now with Karika Beb and the husband.
Wow, that's amazing. So how can people be involved, in reaching you, in trying to be, to ensure that they are part of the program, or, solicit funds, or however that they can help with the Zaza Foundation? How can people reach you there?
We would really appreciate that because we are, because of the village,
Yeah.
because of the community.
Yeah.
The foundation is not our foundation. It's ours.
the
It's not my
community.
foundation.
Yeah.
It's the community's foundation. It has grown like this because of the community.
Wow,
I have
yes.
not built this alone.
Yeah.
The community was there. The municipality was there. The people are there. The local
Yeah.
businesses are there.
Sure.
They are there to help out, to make sure that the children, they grow properly. They get all the love. We care for them so that they
Yeah.
can be healthy children. So we are on on all the social medias. You
Yeah.
can find us Zaza Mahlangu Foundation.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you all the three because
Yes.
I am.
Yeah, we need them.
So my personal is Zaza Letsholo on all the social medias. On LinkedIn, you find me Zaza Letsholo. On Instagram, Facebook, all of them.
Yeah.
And you can find, if you want to be inspired and to see about the foundation, what happens at the foundation, so you can follow Zaza Mahlangu Foundation.
Yeah.
We had a Bekebadi also that we had opened, but it didn't do that well.
Yeah.
But I think now when we are settled in with the office, now a
Things
lot
are
of
gonna be,
things, because we've been
redirected.
we're working mobile, like we've been,
yeah.
yes,
Yes.
but then now we've got a set offers, so a lot of things are going to be happening. Our website is almost done now, because we had a website but we couldn't afford it, and then
Yeah,
it
what's it about
shut
drama?
down.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, so now the it's bigger and better now. So they will
Yeah.
find all the information when they follow the Zaza Mahlangu Foundation.
Foundation.
And we also have an email if maybe you want to.
Yes, do say it, yes.
info@zazamahlangufoundation.co.za. info@zazamahlangufoundation.co.za. We do a lot in the foundation.
Yeah.
We do sanitary pads drives. We do school shoe drives. We do metric farewells for children who can't afford to get those nice dresses and
Yes.
suits. We host them and in a get a beautiful place where we will motivate them for university.
Yeah.
So we do empowerment events, women with purpose events, where and I get a lot of women that comes back to me and say, you know what, we actually since I came to your event, this is what happened to me.
It's a life-changing event.
It is, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Guys, myself and Zaza can talk the whole day, okay? Because there is so much that, she holds. But the most important thing I think we are taking away from Zaza today is, while you're in the midst of drowning in grief, drowning in, in a business that's not working out the first time, or drowning in a corporate world that you cannot really sustain your life or your mental health for that matter, it is proven that you can still rise up, you can still be saved. Zaza shared so much her grief and how she rose to become this amazing founder, director of Zaza Foundation, as well as being in the agriculture as a woman, and she is doing it so beautifully and empowering more and more communities. I like to say, Zaza, thank you so much for really opening your heart. And not only that, you have opened the home for many South Africans, for many children that want a safe space, and for women that want empowerment. You have been the go-to woman. You have empowered so many women, not only by you talking and being in the room, but how you've carried yourself and how much power you have proven that it is possible through trials. It is possible through many, circumstances. You are still standing. The girl from a village, the girl now that is sitting in rooms that are so powerful, you're not only doing that, you're also opening more rooms for so many women. And with that said, I'd like to say thank you so much for taking the time to come and sit with us today. And with that said, it is time for us to go. I mean, we have a life after this, so we have to go do live after this. And you know where to find me. I am Ria Sia, your woman of controversial engagements. You can find me on all social media platforms. And I like to say, thank you. How can I forget that? Thank you for making us reach 1,000 followers on our IG. We will be able to do a live broadcasting, and therefore we'll be able to call other people that would like to be part of this platform. We cannot have you all in person, so we have to dissect in other ways. But do suggest, do drop me an email, do drop me a name on the IG, and that's it for today. I must say, I love you.
Yay.